Hello! Long time no see. It's good to see you again. I hope it's good to see me as well. I'm back. Sorry if the lighting isn't fantastic. The sun really isn't out today, so I'm doing the best that I can with the lighting. But this is just what you're gonna get today. But welcome to this video. I will be discussing all of the movies that I watched in April, May, and June, as well as the TV shows, and it's gonna be a fun time. I hope. So as always, I'm first gonna start talking about the movies that I rewatched, and then I will go into the statistics of the new movies that I watched, and then discuss the new movies that I watched. And then we'll briefly talk about TV shows. So the movies I rewatched are Eurovision, the story of Fire Saga, The Maze Runner, The Scorched Trials, The Death Cure, Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, Jumanji, The Next Level, and Game Night. That is all I rewatched. I didn't really do a lot of rewatching of movies. I also didn't do a lot of watching of new movies. I've been more in a reading mood, so definitely go check out my book wrap up because I read over 40 books, which is probably why I didn't get to a lot of movies. But I did watch a total of 9 new movies in the past 3 months. I'm disappointed in myself. But I have all my stats on these little post-it notes. But yeah, so 9 movies total. The shortest movie I watched was 84 minutes and the longest was 143 minutes. Total I watched 970 minutes, which averages to only 10.6 minutes per day. Hopefully I will be watching more because the theaters are open again, and for July there's a lot of movies coming out in the theaters that I want to see. So let's hope July can be a good month. But 6 of the movies I watched were digital, 3 of them were in the theater. 8 of them were 2021 releases, and 1 was not from 2021. Alright, now these are the stats I'm not proud of right now, and I don't like that this is what it is, but I was not paying attention to this when I was picking out movies, but I need to now. But I watched 8 white directors, and 1 BIPOC director. And then I watched 9 male directors. 0 female directors. Ratings, I watched 2 TV PG movies, 3 PG, 2 PG-13, 1 TV MA, and 1 R rated movie. I watched 5 different genres. I watched 2 drama, 2 adventure, 2 romance, 2 comedy, and 1 documentary. Then lastly we have the stars. I have 2 2 stars, 2 3 stars, 1 3.5 star, 2 4 stars, 1 4.5 star, and 1 5 star. So my average is 3.4 stars. And there you have it, my stats. Let's start talking about these movies that I watched, and I think I'm going to talk about them in order of least liked to most liked. So we're obviously starting with 2 stars since there are no 1 stars. And my first 2 stars, so my least favorite movie that I watched this year, is A Week Away. This is a musical teen movie about these kids that go to a Christian camp. It's like Camp Rock but Christian style. Now here's the thing. I am a Christian, so I don't mind all of that stuff. Oh my god, do I get a little bit of sun right now? Look at that. Anyway, so I don't mind Christian movies and like the Christian faith being discussed in movies. This, however, was just very generic and super cheesy. Like, too cheesy, and the acting was just horrible. It was such bad acting. I think there was only 2 songs that I liked. The rest I was just kind of like, But the one song I did really like is when they mashed up an original song with the song Awesome God. I found myself singing along because I love that song, Awesome God. Wow, I really sound like a Christian. But yeah, no, I mean, I went to youth group throughout my childhood and teenage years. I even went to a Christian camp for like a week. I had a very fun time at that camp. So honestly, like watching this kind of brought back memories of the Christian camp experience that I had. I think that's why I gave this movie like 2 stars rather than 1 star. But it still had like a lot of plot holes, this movie. A lot of things just like did not make sense. But I did like that one song. And I also really liked the side characters. There were 2 side characters that I liked. Everyone else, it was just bad acting and super generic, and that's all I can really say about this movie. So my next 2-star, which I actually didn't hate this movie, so I know it's a 2-star, but just bear with me on this one. So it's called Finding You. I saw this in the theater. It was a great time. It's a romantic comedy about a girl who is studying abroad in Ireland, trying to find her sound because she plays the violin. She's trying to find her sound. And she runs into a famous guy who is like big name in like these teen heartthrob movies. And they have a little romance. I actually really enjoyed this one. It is 2 stars, but I will get to why it's 2 stars later. First, I kind of just want to gush about the movie a little bit. I love romantic comedies. And so I really enjoyed it, even though it was not a great movie. But I liked the journey we went on. I really liked the main actor's acting, surprisingly, because I've seen him in other stuff. I've seen him in the Descendants series. He was on like one episode of The 100. So I've like seen him and stuff, and he's not good at acting. Like, not good. But this movie, he's stepping up. He's getting better. I'm like really proud of him for that. The other actors, not great. They sucked. Literally everyone else sucked except for our main actor, whose name I cannot remember. So I enjoyed watching him because he had a couple scenes where he was like crying and just like really showing emotion. So really proud of him for that. I loved the music and I loved the setting. The setting of Ireland is just such a cool place to like watch on screen, and it's so beautiful, and then the music was so fun. Now the things that make it a 2-star. So like I said, everyone else's acting, besides the main character, sucked. And I don't mean the girl main character, sorry. I feel like I need to differentiate between the two, but the guy, the main character. His is the only acting I liked. Everyone else, so bad. It's also super unrealistic and cliche, and usually I can like to suspend my disbelief with those types of things in romantic comedies, but this was just like too much. I also just wanted more from the ending. I feel like I went through all this and I didn't get enough at the end. So like it does have its heartwarming moments, but overall it's not great, but it is enjoyable enough. At least for me it was. Now we're on to 3 stars, and my first 3-star is The Sweetest Thing. This came out, I think, in the early 2000s. I can't remember exactly when it came out, but it's got Cameron Diaz, Christina Applegate, Selma Blair, and it's a romantic comedy. But this one was interesting. I almost might change this to a 2, just because I'm debating if I liked Finding You more than this one. I don't know. But this one was just weird. So you have that group of friends of those 3 ladies, and they're out at a bar trying to hit on men. And we do mainly follow Cameron Diaz and her love story with one of the guys that she meets at the bar. But you do get a little bit of like the other 2 as well. And that's pretty much it. I remember like as soon as the movie ended, my first thought was, what the fuck did I just watch? I was just like, what am I watching? I mean, like there was even a song, there was a musical number, just one, about a penis. They were just singing a song about penises in the middle of a restaurant. Everyone's joining in, and I was just, what was happening? The thing that I really didn't like the most about this movie were the characters. I thought the characters sucked. I thought they were super annoying and like really mean and rude, and yet I actually had an okay time watching this. It's very out there, but like it is funny at times, and I did feel myself a little bit invested in the romance and what was happening, even though I really was not rooting for her to get the guy. Because I just really hated her so much. And then my last 3-star is Friends, the Reunion. And I liked it. I mean, it's a 3-star. So as a way of synopsis of this, there's not much to say. It's just kind of a reunion of the TV show Friends. You have the main actors, but then you also have a couple other side characters, and you learn a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and there's even like an interview with James Corden in this. So it was a nice little reunion and some nice insight to the behind the scenes of the show that I quite enjoyed. I liked when they got to reenact some of the scenes from the show. I think the biggest thing that we learned was that the actors who played Ross and Rachel, Jennifer Aniston and Ross Geller. I swear I know the actor's name, but I've lost it. The biggest thing we learned was those two actors actually had a crush on each other and a little like fling with each other-ish, I think during like the first and second seasons, which was awesome to learn about. However, I would have liked for this reunion to go a little bit deeper, and I would have liked some more special guests. I feel like we really didn't get a whole bunch. And the fashion show was like my least favorite part of the whole reunion. I don't know why. And all like the fan testimonials, they were okay. My 3.5 star goes to Cruella. This is a Disney live action take on the story of Cruella, and it's also like a different twist, a different take on Cruella. It makes Cruella a little bit more realistic than I think the cartoon version, not just because it's live action, but it takes place more in the modern time, and she's not out to kill puppies. So I actually did really enjoy this movie. I thought Emma's acting was fantastic. Both Emmas. I forgot. Our two main characters are named Emma in real life. I thought they were great. I also really liked her, Cruella's little gang of friends. And I really liked the dynamic between her real self and then when she turned into Cruella. I liked that dynamic and how we see the differences between the two and how that affects her friendship with these two guys. And also how that just like affects everyone around her constantly like switching her personalities. Loved all the fashion. The fashion was fantastic. My favorite was definitely the one where she like rides off on the trash truck, the garbage truck. That was like my favorite outfit. I really just enjoyed this story and the journey that it went on, but it was kind of silly and cliche at moments, and it just felt like there was something missing. But overall, I really did enjoy it. The editing was also really great in this movie. Now on to my 4 stars. There are 2 of them. The first is The Mitchells vs. the Machines. This is a very cute kids movie, but also I should say it's more of a family movie because it's one of those movies that kids can enjoy but also adults can enjoy. Hence me. I very much enjoyed this. We follow the Mitchell family. They're not really great. They do not get along. They're having their issues, as most families do. And all the robots and all the AIs are taking over. And the last people left on Earth are the Mitchell family. And it's up to them to save the entire world. It was so much fun. So I really enjoyed the animation and the story and this like journey that we went on. I also really enjoyed the family dynamics of them like working through their problems while also trying to save the world and defeat the robots. I think my favorite scene is definitely when they're fighting all of the appliances in the mall. It was funny, but it wasn't as funny as I was hoping it would be. I did not find myself laughing out loud as much as I wanted to, which is probably why it's a 4 star, but I still really had a fun time watching it. It's a movie that actually has a lot of heart. My next 4 star is Luca. This is another animated movie, but this is a Pixar movie, and it's about Luca, who is like a sea creature, but when he comes on land, he turns into a human. His parents don't want him to go to land and become a human because the humans kill the sea creatures. There's that war going on, but then Luca, in a fit of rebellion and with his new friend, they go on land and they make a friend and they try to win this like triathlon competition. So there's swimming, biking, and pasta eating, because this takes place, I think, in a town in Italy. But Luca loves being a human and he loves these other humans and is really enjoying his time on land. But it's always just like, gotta make sure they're not caught. They cannot be caught as being known as sea creatures, or else the humans will kill them. It's such a cute story. It's really fun and just a great coming of age story. I loved the characters, and I thought the race part of the movie, you know, the whole like triathlon thing, was a really like fun aspect to the story. Now, it's not my favorite Pixar movie, but it's still enjoyable. Now, I have here on my post-it that there's one 4.5 star, but when I looked in my bullet journal, I changed it to a 4 star. It didn't quite feel like a 4.5 star, so I have changed it to a 4 star, so there's one more 4 star. And that is In the Heights. In the Heights is the next musical of Lin-Manuel Miranda to be turned into a movie, and I was so looking forward to this movie. You will not believe. I saw In the Heights when it was on Broadway back when I was in high school, and I really loved it. And so when I heard this was becoming a movie, I was very excited. Of course, it was supposed to come out last year, and I had to wait even longer, but it's here now, and I saw it, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the visuals. Like, visually, this movie is absolutely stunning. And of course, I just love this story that we go on. 96,000 was fantastic and was my everything. Like, 96,000 was definitely the best part of the whole movie. Now, they did make a lot of changes from the musical. They actually changed the order of some of the songs, which I found to be a little weird, especially when they had Caraval after, what's it called? Pacientka? Oh my god, I already cannot remember. But after the like big number from the grandma, we have Caraval. And I'm just like, we can't go from that to Caraval. Are you kidding me? Like, no. Because usually Caraval's before that big number. But the biggest change that was made that I really didn't like, for multiple reasons, but we took out so much of Benny and Nina. So much. And we changed the whole reason that Nina was coming home from school. That was a huge change. But also, we barely got any Benny and Nina and their whole story, because they are also a really big part of the musical, but I felt like they were barely there. We didn't really get a lot of Nina's relationship with Abuela, so that means we didn't get my favorite song from the musical. Or sorry, my second favorite. My favorite's 96,000. But my second favorite, which is Everything I Know. And I'm so upset that we didn't get Everything I Know. But overall, I do think it's a fantastic movie, and I think it's very well done. I just wanted way more Benny and Nina, and some of the format of the movie, and like the order of things kind of threw everything off for me. And then my last movie to talk about, my 5 star. I finally have a 5 star this year, guys. This is the very first 5 star that I'm giving this year, and it is well deserved, because it is for Bo Burnham, Inside. Bo Burnham does it again. I love Bo Burnham. I've loved him since 2010 or 2009, but it was when I was a senior in high school. All of his like Netflix comedy specials are fantastic. And then we get Inside. Oh my god, he is honestly a genius. I do think Bo Burnham is a genius. His lyrics are perfect. It's funny, it's deep, it's sad, it's scarring, but like in the best way possible. The lighting is fantastic, the editing is fantastic, like everything about this is fantastic, and the fact that he did it all himself, I am so blown away. He wrote it, he starred in it, he directed it, he produced it, he edited it, he did the lighting all himself. He did everything, and I am in awe of him. What I loved about this special as well was not only the songs that he had in it, but also like his year-long process through creating this. Because this takes place, I think, during the entire pandemic. I don't know if it's an entire year. It might be actually an entire year of him staying inside for the pandemic, and all of like his thoughts and how his mental health was good in the beginning, but like it started to deteriorate the more he stayed inside. And just like seeing his process and like his thinking throughout this whole year, throughout this whole pandemic, was just, it was fascinating to watch, but also like heartbreaking. And a lot of the songs from this are stuck in my head. I can't get White Woman's Instagram out of my head, and I can't get All Eyes on Me out of my head. His comedy style is also so different. I don't know anyone else's comedy style who is like his, but it's very existential. It's funny, but it also will make you be like, oh, okay, that's where we're going. Okay, well now you're making me think and you're making me sad, but like, that's okay. This is genius, fantastic. If you haven't watched any Bo Burnham's of his like comedy specials, like watch them. Watch this one, watch Make Happy, watch What, which I think is still my favorite of his. I love What. Alright, that is it for the movies. Let's move on to briefly talking about some TV shows. So the first TV show I want to talk about is Shadow and Bone. I might talk a very long time about this TV show. I have read the Shadow and Bone trilogy. I have read the Six of Crows duology. I have read almost everything by her. I'm currently reading Rule of Wolves. Sorry, the book is sitting right there. But I thought this show was fantastic. Oh my god, I love the book series, and like, they have a special place in my heart, and I was so worried that they weren't going to do it justice, especially because I heard they were combining Shadow and Bone and Six of Crows, and I was like, how are you going to do that? Six of Crows follows completely different characters, and it takes place 3 years after the end of the Shadow and Bone trilogy. I was like, what's going on? How is this going to work? And you guys, it is brilliant. I have watched Shadow and Bone, like the whole series, 3 times. Because I just love it that much. I have told countless friends of mine to watch it, and some of them have. Right now my cousin is watching it, and she is texting me. What was her text? It was something like, I am obsessed, and I was like, I knew it. I knew it. It's so good. It's a great fantasy series about the Grishaverse. So in the Grishaverse, we have people who can use magic. We're mainly following Alina, Mal, and the Darkling. Alina is, it's revealed that she's the Sun Summoner. This happens in the first episode, so it's not too much of a spoiler. But she's revealed that she's the Sun Summoner. And she can take down the Fold, which is this huge wall of darkness that is separating East Ravka from West Ravka. And the only way to get their supplies is to go through the Fold. They can't go around it because they're at war with the other 2 countries that are on the opposite sides of them. We're mainly following Alina as she's like training to take down the Fold, and we learn a lot of things as she is learning them. Mal is her best friend. The Darkling is a shadow summoner, so he's like the complete opposite of Alina, but he's kind of the one that's like training her, and he's the general, the head honcho of the war efforts. But then we also have the Six of Crows gang, which is my favorite, Kaz, Inej, and Jesper. I can't wait till Nina and Matthias join them, and then in season 2 we'll get Wylan. I'm so excited. But anyway, so they're from a completely different country. They're from Ketterdam, and they are given a job, because they're criminals, they're given a job to kidnap Alina. So that's their whole purpose in this storyline. And it is so good. They did such a good job with this. Like, the production value is stunning. Like, they really put a lot of money into this show, because the CGI is fantastic, the outfits are fantastic, just even like the setting and all the places that they're at is just fantastic. And the writing is great. I think they actually do a really good job of explaining certain things that maybe the people who haven't read the books maybe might not understand a couple things, but I think the show does a good enough job of explaining all of that. I could gush about the show all day, but that's where I'm gonna leave it. Please watch Shadow and Bone. I love it so much. I also started watching season 7 of The Flash, but I have stopped, and I need to get back into it. But I'm kind of now at this point, I need to wait until it's available on Netflix. because I am so far behind that I will have to pay for episodes, and I'm not about to do that. Another TV show I started watching is High School Musical, the series, season 2. I am loving it. I will say the first couple of episodes, like episodes 1, 2, and 3, I was kind of like, a little underwhelmed, I'd say. Just kind of like not as into it, but now that I'm this far into it, I think I'm finally at like, what, episode 8 or 9? I'm so invested. And I'm so here for everything that is happening. I love EJ. I remember the first season, EJ was my least favorite character. I also thought he couldn't sing. But I really love EJ this season, and his singing has gotten a lot better, and I'm really proud of him for that. And I actually do think I'm liking this season more than last season. It all depends on how this season ends. The last episode I watched, oh my god, I cried so hard. There was so much going on, and I was losing it emotionally. Love that this show is doing that to me. Another TV show that I started watching, which is also on Disney Plus, is The Mysterious Benedict Society. Another kids TV show, and it's based off of a children's book series, but I mainly watched it because Tony Hale's in it. I saw the trailer and I was like, ooh, Tony Hale? Sure. And I actually really enjoy it. It's about these 4 kids. They're kind of becoming spies and agents for Mr. Benedict. So they're placed in this like really prestigious school undercover to find out where the transmitter is that is sending out all of these hidden messages and causing the entire world to go into mania and have anxiety. They need to find that, shut it down, but it's a lot harder than it sounds. I really am enjoying it, I really am. Just one aspect is like really bugging me, and that is one of the child actors, one of the children, cannot act. Cannot act. Every time she is on the screen, it's just deadpan, no emotion. The way she says lines is just, what? Go to acting school. The other kids are good enough at least, but she is just awful. The last TV thing that I want to talk about and mention, it's not a TV show, but I did watch Eurovision 2021 this year, and I love it, as I do every year that I watch Eurovision. But this year was just like even more exciting because they had 2 years to prepare, because they canceled 2020, which is the first year that Eurovision was canceled in the like 60 something years that it had existed. So I was very upset in 2020 when it was canceled. But we got 2021 with all new performers, all new songs, and it was fantastic. It's so good. So like I took notes on all of the performances because that was something I like to do. I like to do it every year. And I always say like I'm gonna do a video about it, and then I just don't. And like even now I feel like it's too late for me to do a video discussing it because this happened in May. We're already in July. But maybe I'll still do it. But I will tell you my top 26. Because of course there are 26 that perform in the final. So my least favorite was Moldova. I was very disappointed in Moldova. Especially because I liked the video for the song, but the live performance just sucked. And then Belgium, and then Portugal, and then Germany, and then Azerbaijan, United Kingdom, Sweden, Greece, Israel, Cyprus, Lithuania, Albania, the Netherlands, Spain, Iceland, Norway. I felt so bad because I was like, I wanted those to be in my top 10, Iceland and Norway, and Spain, but they just couldn't get there. But now we're in my top 10, and it's France, Switzerland, San Marino, Finland, Russia, Malta, Serbia, Bulgaria, Ukraine, and then Italy was my number 1. And this is the second time that the one I wanted to win won. So that was very exciting. But that's my little order. I guess if I do end up doing that video, you just got a sneak peek. Okay, yeah, so I really enjoyed Eurovision, and I really enjoyed the TV and the movies that I've watched. I really hope I can watch more movies. Anyway, that is it for this video. I'm so happy to be back. I'm so happy if you are here watching this video. And I do also have my book wrap up if you have not watched that yet, so link is down below for that video. And I will see you guys later with more videos. Bye!